What up, Bulls Nation? Peck here. We've got a live CHGO Bulls podcast coming up for y'all right around the corner. We continue our player evaluations today with the Rook, Matas Buzelis, who came on strong down the stretch, plus some NBA playoff roundup, and Josh Giddey gets some MIP votes. Next.
Pluses.
What's going on, Bulls Nation? Welcome into the CHGO Bulls podcast. Coming to you live from our studios here in West Loop, downtown Chicago. Happy Thursday, everybody. I'm Peck, Bulls_Peck. That's Big Day. Bam! BNWL Sports. That's Willie Go Gottlieb, perfectly coiffed. Will_Gottlieb. The perks aren't out yet.
Not yet.
But the ankles are out.
Oh, you do got them showing.
Katie W, the queen of the controls. What up, Katie?
Hi.
Hello.
Katie's excited about a movie-going experience.
Real excited.
Yeah, Sinners. Yes, go see Sinners, y'all. All of y'all. Go
About
see
to make
Sinners.
a poll because Matt is wrong, and I need y'all to prove that to him.
Make the poll. What did we learn the other day, Katie? Poll results mean nothing.
Well, I don't know if I would say the opinion of our viewers is nothing, but I'm glad that you said it out loud.
Oh.
Polls in general.
Oh, watching two petty people go at it.
I have never trusted the opinions of the masses.
Unstoppable force versus the immovable object.
Wolves don't concern themselves with the opinions of sheep, Katie.
Do you remember that one time you were wrong about spelling?
No.
I don't remember what word it was. Oh, it was vacation. And you thought there was a Y in vacation.
You remember the time that you were grossly wrong about how to abbreviate?
You thought there was a Y in vacation.
Some people go on a trip, others go on a
You know the funniest thing about this? The one abbreviation was staring us right in our face, and we never probably ever used it. Because I could have easily just said, Katie spelled Dave.
That's a proper noun.
There's no E in Dave.
Proper nouns have different grammatical rules than
in Dave.
Proper nouns have different.
You said that.
VACA spells vaca.
I'm gonna mute your mic.
How about time?
Matt's muted for the rest of the show.
Tom was the best.
Can I go home now? Shout out to Matt Legend, Colin, everybody in the comments. Months saying you learned you can't have a poll about a bowl that does not include Benny.
What does Benny? Okay.
As opposed to the because we did the 100 men versus gorilla poll yesterday. All right, guys. Before we get to our Matas Buzelis grades and a little NBA playoff roundup, first thing on the docket, the NBA announced Dyson Daniels, the winner of the 24-25 NBA's Most Improved Player Award. Kudos to him. I think everybody saw him as the runaway winner, and well-deserved. He did win by a considerable margin. But if you went down to 10th on the others receiving votes, you would see the Bulls' Josh Giddey, who received 5 total votes, 2 third-place votes, 2 second-place votes, and a first-place vote. Mm-hmm. Who did that? Congratulations, I guess. We didn't really talk about Josh Giddey as a Most Improved Player Award candidate at any point this season. He did come up in our conversation where we handed out our Bulls team awards for the season in the Most Improved category. What, if anything, does this signify to y'all? Because to me, it signifies very little.
It signifies that the league is watching and taking notice and looking at him. And he deserves some credit for that. So for him getting a first-place vote does it. If it was just like second-place votes and third-place votes, I don't think I would have raised an eyebrow to it. But seeing that somebody said, no, he deserves a first-place vote for what he did, that means somebody was taking notice and watching what he was doing. And also, I had Zubac Shakur as the number one.
I believe he finished second.
He was second. Yeah. But he was my most improved player. That's who I had. Shout out to him. Incredible season. But good for Josh Giddey. I like it because it means more eyes are on him and more teams and people around the league are watching and seeing what he's doing, which is basically setting his floor for what they expect from you next season. And so for me, it's all about next season now, Matt. So when you're getting people watching you and getting little recognition, little accolades. It's like getting a first team all rookie award or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Like somebody's watching you and looking at you and setting an actual floor and standard that they expect from you. And this kind of is what that signifies to me on some kind of level, that teams are watching and saying, no, Josh Giddey has improved. And we're pretty like, you know what? That he's played really solid for the Chicago Bulls team, who caught fire in that month of March, and he was one of the leaders of it. So kudos to him, because they did it for Kobe last year when he finished second. So I think that says a lot, honestly, about Josh Giddey and the season that he had. And it means that going into next season, he's definitely got stuff to live up to. And I want to see if he can do it.
Yeah, totally agree. I think what it tells you is that he improved, which he did, and which we've given him a lot of credit for. He played a lot better. His 3-point shooting jumped way up, especially in the second half of the year. I even thought his defense at times was much better, much more locked in, play-in game and early season notwithstanding. But I think he took control of the team and of the game in a way that really catered to his skill sets. Looked a lot more like the Olympic version of Josh Giddey than the OKC Thunder version of Josh Giddey, and that benefited the Bulls. So did he improve? Absolutely. Was this an award that's the player you're now most sure about moving forward as a franchise cornerstone award? No, that's not what the award is. It was most improved, and he certainly did improve. I don't think he deserved to win it. I think Dyson and Zubats and Cade Cunningham were the correct top 3, even though I am hesitant to even put people on rookie scale contracts in that, because you're supposed to improve during that time. And it's more impressive to me if you're making a jump after that rookie scale deal. But I definitely think he improved, and it does not surprise me that he got a couple of votes.
I mean, he improved in some instances, in some statistical categories.
Why you look gross?
Not all of them. I'm just saying, like, when you're talking about people who get recognition for this award or consideration for this award, his scoring increased from 12.3 to 14.6. Oh, call the news. Yeah, he improved his 3-point shooting a bit, Will, from 33.7% last season to 37.8% this season. Oh, God. That's a solid increase. It's not like a huge increase. I can't remember if you used the word huge just now, but his overall field goal percentage fell from 47.5 to 46.5. His assists went back up because last season OKC took the ball out of his hands. Okay, good for you. Your usage percentage went up, especially on the back half of the season for the Bulls. Marginal improvements somewhere, not even marginal improvements in other instances.
So you don't feel he deserved any votes for most improved player? I'm just asking.
If the award was about who improved the most from the first 2/3 of the season to the final third of the season, then yeah, throw a bunch of votes at Josh Giddey. But in the grand scheme of things, come on now.
The one thing I will say, though, is I don't think the way the voting works is you're not voting for the top 10 guys. And you can say Giddey was my number 10. It was the top 3. And so for him to get votes in the top 3, I think is certainly a stretch.
Agreed.
But I do think he got better this year. I really do. And I think, again, I'm still left with a lot of questions about it, but he definitely showed growth.
He did.
He did. And I do like your take, Dave, on it, which means hey, this isn't about you getting a few votes this season and good for you. It's about what we expect from you moving forward.
Correct.
I'll take that take.
Yeah. It shines that really brighter on that long hair head of his. And I hope he's ready for that.
Yeah.
And because the expectations are coming. And now everything about him says he'll be ready for stuff like that. I mean, hell, look at the season he just had.
Right.
He came and said what he wanted to improve on was his 3-point shooting and get better defensively. He honestly did both of those things.
Yeah.
So,
And if his full body of work season numbers were his post All-Star break numbers, where he were 23, 11, and 9, then dude probably would have won the most improved player award.
Yeah.
But it wasn't the case.
It was not the case.
All right, moving on. NBA playoff action. We saw another team say goodbye to their 24-25 campaign. The Los Angeles Lakers and LeBron James.
The Los
Angeles
sad. Lakers. Am I right?
I weep for you. 103-96. The Wolves get the win and the series win 4-1. Guys, the T-Wolves won that game last night despite shooting 7 of 47 behind the 3-point line. They gave the Lakers any and all kinds of opportunities to keep that series alive. And the Lakers were like, we're good. What do you guys think that Wolves win says more about them or more about the Lakers plan moving forward?
Oh, that is a good question. I definitely have Lakers takes, so I'll say it's the Lakers' fault. When the team shoots that terribly from three, Anthony Edwards, I believe, was 0 of 11 from the three-point line. 15 points is kind of what he ended up with. Rudy Gobert had the game of his life out there. I believe, was it 27 points?
27 and 24.
24 rebounds for Rudy Gobert. That's his most in the playoffs ever for rebounds and points. He was absolutely dominant. I don't think I've ever said those words about him in a playoff game before. But I said it in this one because he was taking them dudes to the woodshed out there. So, but good for them. They went into their house and won that game by not playing their best. That is a winning basketball team. Like, great winning basketball teams win even when they're not playing their best. Even when they have off shooting nights, they find a way to win. LeBron James. Hell no. Absolutely not. What was that? All right. And the only reason I'm being critical of this is because when I have no problem heaping the praise when it's deserved, and people have no problem heaping the praise when it's deserved. But what I saw, especially in these last two games, man, was terrible, terrible basketball. Okay, you want to say in game 4, they played that whole second half. Even though coach said if you were tired, tell them you're tired, they'll take you out the game. But you stayed in. You didn't score, no assists and no rebounds, especially in the last 5 minutes. Didn't even have a single point in that whole fourth quarter. In this one, I believe he had 5 points, if I'm not mistaken, in that entire fourth quarter. So in 2 games, that's 5 points in the fourth quarter when they need you to handle your business. And people, I'm holding you to this standard because people are telling me you're the greatest ever. Well, this is the standard that you're held to. There's no excuses. I don't want to hear shit about your age. I don't want to hear nothing like that. I'm not going to judge you like I judge Kevin Willis. I'm going to judge you be like this because you're LeBron James. I expected more from him. I expected that game. I said it to my friends after game 4. Oh, no, man, LeBron ain't going to go out like this. He going to have a game. They might not win, but LeBron is going to have a game. I expected greatness, and I was let down, honestly, by what I saw. I believe he was a -6 in that fourth quarter, man. He was not good. He was a -13 in the previous fourth quarter. Not good, man. Not good at all. And I expect and I demand more from you because you are great, sir. I felt let down. I did. I felt let down by him.
I feel like the Wolves won because they had 8 very good players and the Lakers only had 7 very good players. Vanderbilt off the bench, 2 points. Gabe Vincent off the bench, 26 minutes, 0 points. We joke about like the JJ Redick playing all of his starters for the entire second half.
Yeah.
They couldn't play Jackson Hayes in the entire game.
Maxi Kleber showed up.
Maxi Kleber came out of like early retirement.
Did you guys forget that Maxi Kleber was the Lakers? Yes, I did.
I'm sure. I don't even know if he knew he was there.
He looked down. I was not a jersey.
No, like the physicality, the size, the strength. Julius Randle, you guys didn't mention, was awesome.
Oh, he was awesome.
And about redemption.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, exactly. Like, there's probably not a player who has had more of a redemption arc this playoff so far.
Yeah, we're right on that.
I also loved Anthony Edwards taking a victory lap around Staples Center.
Hilariously petty.
Talking about his favorite movie being Matilda. Like, just Ant is just the man.
Batman, Superman, Ant-Man. Wolves in 5.
Wolves in 5. So, yeah, I mean, I don't think the Lakers are ready for it at all. I think the Wolves out-physicaled them. Mm-hmm. They were just a better team up and down the lineup. I will say this. The Lakers are, like, they were a team that was built with Anthony Davis in mind, and I don't know what that matchup looks like if they still have that. Obviously, you make the Luka trade 10 times out of 10, but they didn't have enough time to, like, reconstruct their roster around Luka, and so it's still this, like, Frankenstein roster that should have been around LeBron and AD, is now around Luka with no real rim rolling center, which is a huge piece of what he does and how he helps teams become great. So I expect them to do some real work to the roster in the offseason. But yeah, right now, Wolves just straight up a better team.
I'll say this too. I think Nico Harrison enjoyed his drink yesterday for sure.
See, I told you guys.
He enjoyed his drink yesterday for sure. I ain't got nothing bad today to say about Nico Harrison.
The Luka trade was not about winning the chip this season, obviously.
Not for the Lakers.
It was about getting a franchise player for the next
10 years.
Yeah,
absolutely.
But today, credit to that Minnesota team. That's a big series win for them. Credit to Ant. I mean, he picked that double team apart. The Lakers were trying to throw traps at him, and Ant was like, "All right, here you go, Rudy."
Yes, like that's exactly.
Also talking about people who have maybe not a complete series, but a game that was redemption. People crap on Rudy Gobert all the time for various reasons. People were talking about him being unplayable in this series.
Yeah, I remember.
It was like, the Lakers go small, and Rudy's just going to get played off the floor. It was like, or he's going to put up 27 and 24.
The Wolves had 18 offensive rebounds in that.
Yeah, Rudy, I think, had like 10 of those.
They had 11 more shot attempts.
Crazy.
And more free throws.
That's how you win, despite shooting 15% from the three-point line. All right,
defense is horrible.
We got to knock out a couple ads. We'll come back. We'll put a bow on the other playoff action from last night, and then we'll dive into some grades for the Rook. Matas Buzelis. Hit the like button if you want a tank span.
Don't you want a tank span?
I always want a tank spin. Not as much as Go, but I always want one.
Yeah, Go needs it.
Today's show brought to you by Sunnyside. Sure. What is Sunnyside Cannabis Dispensary? Well, it's your home for judgment-free cannabis shopping, a place where all kinds of visitors are welcome to explore, discover, and purchase a wide array of high-quality products. Sunnyside has everything you need to elevate your summer. It's your one-stop shop for all your cannabis needs. Sunnyside has an expertly curated menu with over 100 strains to choose from. That's right, I said over 100! Mm-hmm. Plus, easy online ordering and in-store pickup. They've got locations all over the state of Illinois, from the city to the burbs, Wrigleyville and River North, all the way down in Champaign, even up in South Beloit. The locations are seemingly endless. Mm-hmm. If you are just starting out, Sunnyside has expert guidance and a brilliant staff to help you make your selections with all the brands they have available and know that you will love, like Good News and Mindy's. Even if you are a pro, a savant, a well-cultured enthusiast, they still can help you with, again, over 100 different strains to choose from and new strains added to their menu on the daily. Expertly curated. Check out the Wellness Advisors Staff Picks collection. Visit Sunnyside.shop for bright buys every day, and here's what we and they will do for you. 50% off, 50% off your first 3 online purchases. All you got to do is enter that promo code HICHGO when you check out to qualify. Again, that promo code HICHGO. Exclusions apply. Sunnyside Cannabis Dispensary, bright buys every day, only for 21 and older, and Illinois Med card holders.
Rate.com.
Right.
That's an app that you should have right now, ladies and gentlemen, because if you've ever tried to buy a home, get a loan, or just deal with money stuff in general, you know it can be a lot. That's why we got to tell you about the Rate app. Hate to tell you, but love to say it. That was good. And seriously, ladies and gentlemen, it's a game changer. You can get pre-approved for a mortgage in minutes without the need to jump through a million hoops. And if you're thinking about a home equity loan or a personal loan, you can secure one in under 15 days. That's amazing, actually. The Rate app also can help you find the best homeowners and auto insurance based on what you actually need. The whole thing is powered by AI, so it's smart and it saves you time and money. And something that's an unexpected bonus, you get over 800 free wellness videos because it could be stressful trying to get that loan for your home, that auto insurance. Be a little stressful. Rate app says, I'll tell you what, we're going to save you some money and we're going to grant you some serenity now. No insanity later. So if you're stressed out about that loan or mortgage, just simply let the Rate app handle it. Once that's covered, you can hit one of those free wellness videos and chill on out. Download the Rate app to get started today with peace and serenity in your well-being and awesomeness in your home loan and financial situation. Rate.com.
Oh.
Can I read LeBron's
like rhyming loan with situation.
Thank you very much.
That's nice.
That's why I say it, because Matt's the only one who be peeping me over here. You know what I'm saying? You seeing it. This is LeBron. All right, back to you. In these 2 games. In game 4 and 5.
Yeah.
5 points, 2 of 9 shooting, no free throws, 4 assists, and a minus 19. In both of them fourth quarters. Unacceptable. All right? Unacceptable from somebody who's supposed to be the greatest ever. Unacceptable. Or one of the greatest of all time. No, I need you to come back better than that, bro. You can't go out like that. Absolutely not.
Yeah, that's not great.
No.
Speaking of not going out like that, credit to the young Rockets who fought off the Warriors last night, 131-116, to force a game 6. That one will be a big, dear God, let's close this out now. Warriors home for game 6. Do not want to go back to Houston for a potential game 7.
Yeah.
But, credit to the Rockets. Big games from Amen Thompson, Brooks, Van Vliet. Rockets, we know that they love to play fast, crash the boards. Their half-court offense is nothing to write home about. Mm-hmm. But, man, we've seen a lot of free throw attempts across these first-round playoff series. Mm-hmm. Very physical games being played. Man. Some called more tightly than others, but 32 of 38 from the free throw line for the Rockets last night.
My goodness, man.
That's a lot of free throws.
This series is wild. This series is awesome. And I mean that in a great way. I mean, you're watching even the bench players from Golden State get super chippy, and shout out to them. I thought it was really a great thing that they did because strategically that favors the Warriors by them actually playing so well that the Rockets had to put their starters back on the floor. And then when they put their starters back on the floor, they did their best to try to get one of them suspended. And I thought that was brilliant.
They pulled
strategy.
the Rockets on the Rockets.
Yes, correct. Or they put the Draymond on them. Draymond was in somebody's
I do feel like the Rockets have been baiting Draymond into technicals.
To be fair, it ain't hard.
It's not hard.
Hey, Draymond, how you doing?
A lot of other teams do that. There's also the whole thumb gate where they're trying to hurt Steph's thumb.
Yeah.
Okay. But yeah, if they're gonna play that, the Warriors should too.
They are, and I mean Spencer trying to headbutt somebody,
headbutt
Şengün,
pushed him off him.
I mean, his friend pushed him off him, man. And I mean, it's getting real physical and chippy and petty. And I like this kind of basketball. I like this kind of party.
Also, I was doing a little research for a story I'm thinking about for the Bulls, but I was looking at the pace of some of these playoff games. The median pace of the playoffs right now.
How slow is it?
It's 92.8 possessions on average. In the regular season, it's 99.6.
Yeah.
The Bulls was 103. So
that's
these games are way slowed down. And yeah, it's a lot of free throws, a lot of fouls. There's a lot of physicality. Yeah. And I think it's interesting to kind of watch these in the light of there's this criticism of the NBA being soft or too offensively oriented, too many threes. All this stuff. And these playoffs have been physical. Yeah. And the Rockets and the Warriors have been a great example of that.
Yeah, very true.
Our guy, French Bulls fan, in the comments saying a lot of physicality in most of these playoff series. Bulls are too soft for these kinds of things. I agree. All right. And then on deck tonight, we got 2 game 6s.
Yeah.
Knicks trying to close out the Pistons.
Yeah.
Nugs trying to close out the Clips.
Yeah. Game 7s.
I want the Pistons and Clips to win tonight because I am always rooting as just an NBA playoffs fan for game 7s.
Give me more.
Do either or both of the Pistons and Clippers force a game 7?
Yeah. I think the Nuggets win and close it out, and I think it goes to game 7 for the Knicks and Pistons.
I got opposite. I got the Pistons. I just think the Knicks have Brunson. They're the clutch team. They're the experienced team, and I don't know if the Knicks will be able to step up to the moment. Not saying they can't, but that's just my guess. And I think this Clippers Nuggets is destined to go 7. I think it's just that kind of series. So at least that's what I'm hoping.
And
I hope for 2 game 7s, but.
And I thought they stepped up to the moment, though, in Madison Square Garden. They
absolutely did.
To win being down 3-1 and to go in there and get that victory, for me, is stepping up and a huge momentum builder for those guys. I think being at home will definitely help them. I'm not saying that they haven't really won there, during that, but I think they owe their fans a victory that way. The Nuggets, man, I think the Clippers gave them their best shot. I really think that Aaron Gordon dunk took a lot out of the Clippers, and it feels like Murray found his way. If Jamal Murray's cooking, I don't know who is competing with them like that because he makes life super, super easy for guys like Joker.
I hear you. I also give me one more.
Yeah, I want 2 game 7s.
Not just a game. I'm talking. Give me Kawhi with the game of his life.
Okay,
to force a game 7.
Okay, I got you.
Because we have all been reminded what playoff Kawhi is capable of.
Yeah, I don't want him to go.
Give me another one of those.
Yeah.
But mostly because I want them, I am picking they both force game 7.
I'm with it.
They both force game 7.
I'm with it, man. That's what I want. That's what I want the weekend to be. It's watching 2 game 7s, for real.
When would they be? Would it be
Doesn't matter if it's Saturday or Sunday. Somebody's playing Saturday, somebody's playing Sunday.
I think it'd be Sunday.
Because tomorrow will be Rockets Warriors again, game 6. And these are the remaining series. All the other ones have ended.
Yeah.
So
come on with it, baby.
All right. With that, let us shift to our player evaluations. Today's player on deck, the one and only Rook, Matas Buzelis. Starting with what we saw from Matas Obviously, his role changed and evolved over the course of the season. We were sitting here in early November saying, well, we got to see 6 minutes of Matas tonight. Yay. To then saying, well, some of these other young guys aren't giving Billy a whole lot. Where's Matas Buzelis? To finally, in March and April, watching Matas become not just a fixture and a staple of Billy's rotation, but a starter.
Yeah.
Humble brag, by the way. Back when we did bold predictions before the season,
okay,
I went back and found them. Mine was Matas is going to end up starting at least 20 games this season.
And what is it, 31?
31.
Mm-hmm.
Boom. Averages 8.6 points per game on the season. No rookie of the year numbers there.
Sure.
Obviously, when you extrapolate or just go to post All-Star break, he averaged 13 a game, much more respectable.
Yes.
His shooting numbers were, I think, solid for a rookie across the board this season. 45.5% from the field, just over 36% from three, 81.5% from the free throw line.
Mm-hmm.
For a rookie, especially a rookie who had concerns about shooting based on his G League stats coming into the draft, I could not be more realistically pleased with Matas's shooting efficiency in his rookie season.
Yeah, nothing surprised me about how well he played this season because it's what I thought he was going to do from the moment I first saw this dude's tape and sat here and freaked out about it for 10 minutes just about how I thought he was the one guy out of that draft, not a big draft that we were all like, oh, God, watch this. But he was the one guy I watched his footage and I was just like, wow. He was the one guy I did that for. And so I didn't think the Bulls would get him, but thankfully we did. I liked how he just kind of kept his mind. That was the one thing I liked about him is mentally I thought he was very strong and his confidence was on another level of what you want players in year 3 and 4. Hello, Patrick Williams. And their confidence levels mentally to be. I thought Matas is already here, walking in the door. And I was concerned about it being, kind of stripped and removed from him or challenged. And I think it was challenged for sure. But it showed that he's ready for those kind of challenges. Mm-hmm. And he proved that, man. And he didn't let nothing sway the fact that he wants to be the best player in the league. These are his words. He wants to, or the best player ever. Also his words. He wants to be that, and he's going out there to prove it and to show and prove. You know what I mean? One thing to say it, one thing to do it, man. Saying ain't like doing. And he's out there proving and he's doing his thing. And I was really proud of that. So I'm not surprised at the success that he had. I just wish it had started a little bit earlier. That's all I wanted.
Yeah, I mean, before we get into the grades and stuff, I just want to address the way that the Bulls kind of handled him this year. And I know there was some frustration about not seeing more minutes, but I think hearing from Matas directly that he really appreciated the way that the Bulls were bringing him along, not just throwing him into the fire and letting him play through mistakes, but holding him accountable to those. Billy talked about it time and time again of just the value and importance of you have a responsibility of a role out there. And if you are going to perform and execute it, then you'll get to play. And if not, you won't. You'll be on the bench. And by the end of the season, Billy had said that the reason he was most proud of Matas is because everything that he was doing, he had earned it. And he had been out there to prove that he should be out there. And I think that really goes a long way for a young player. Matas said that Billy was his favorite coach that he's ever played for, the best coach that he's ever played for. And so I think that relationship was really strong. I definitely got the frustration. Like I wanted to see more of Matas all year. But finally, by the end of the year, for it to come, not because he was gifted it, but because he had earned it, I think that was super valuable to him. So we'll talk about it when we get into the grades. I kind of graded him on a different curve than I did some of the other players, just because he's a rookie and because of the way that he was brought along. But I thought it was a really strong rookie year for Matas. I would be careful about setting expectations, like Colin's saying he could easily be a 1B or 2A in the future. I think that's possible. I think that the kind of conversation about him being like the star player, the franchise guy moving forward, I'm not saying he can't do that. I think that potential is there.
You're saying there's process.
But it's a process, exactly. And it's going to take some time, and I think there's still a long way to go, as we'll talk about.
Nope. Sorry, Goat. You've lost. I am full steam ahead, full bore. I believe in Matas. It's the only thing keeping me tethered to some semblance of mental health right now. That's my belief in Matas Buzelis. We got to knock out a couple more ads. Then we come back. We'll dive into our grades for Matas Buzelis, starting with what we saw from him on the offensive end. Hit that like button if you haven't done it yet, and if you want a tank spin,
please.
Need a tank spin. And you also need Empire Today.
Floors.
No matter what. Oh, just like your favorite team needs a home court advantage, your home needs a home floor advantage. And Empire Today can get it for you because Empire Today has flooring experts, dedicated flooring professionals whose focus on flooring is every single day. Now, of course, you've been to them big box stores, man. You know, Katie walks in there. She don't want to be in there on a Saturday. She's agitated. She's aggravated. She don't want to be there, all right? She got stuff to do. But then she says, oh, you know what? She saw a little piece of hope because she said, you know what? Those floors look nice over there. I might want to do something with the floors. Let me walk over in there, man. Oh, looking around like, well, maybe somebody is there to help me. And then she hears some Timberland boots stomping through because here he comes, not knowing what he's doing, but he's there anyway. Here comes Biff. Hey, here to help you, man. What can I do for you? Yes, which flooring do you think will look better in an apartment as opposed to an actual condo? Oh, no, too many syllables in your question. I don't know what you mean. I'm shutting down now because I'm Biff and I'm 16 and I don't know floors. She got biffed, ladies and gentlemen. Don't get biffed. Get Empire Today. Home flooring experts. You can do this stuff at home, y'all. Empire Today lives and breathes flooring, and they will be with you every step of the way. It's a whole different ball game. Pick up the right flooring and the right colors for your space. See how it looks with your furniture in your home. With Empire Today, you get clear, upfront, and all-inclusive pricing. Plus, you can schedule installation as soon as the next day. Schedule a free in-home estimate today because some things are just better at home. CHGO listeners can receive a $350 discount when using that promo code CHGO. Yes, even you, Will Purdue. You heard right. A $350 discount when you use that code CHGO. Restrictions apply. Visit EmpireToday.com/CHGO for full details. 588-2300. Peck!
Empire
Today.
I like
well
that.
Done.
I like the
well
little,
done.
the little
Yeah. You like that?
yeah. The fade out, the fade in with the mic.
Means something coming from you, sir.
It's a nice touch.
Thank you.
Today's show also brought to you by our friends at Potawatomi Casino. Hey, what are y'all doing this weekend? Do you not have plans yet? Would you like some plans? Would you like those plans to be going to cheer on the Cubs north of the border? If you said yes to any of all those things, then check out CHGO Cubs event.
Yes.
This Saturday. That's the day after tomorrow, y'all.
It is.
The Cubs are heading up to Milwaukee. You can too. Kick off your summer with the CHGO Cubs crew. Cody, Luke, and Corey taking the party north for a border battle against the Brewers. It's going down this Saturday, May 3rd at Potawatomi Casino and Hotel in Milwaukee. What's included if you get yourself a ticket to this super awesome event? Exclusive free game party in a private room at the casino, a live CHGO Cubs show, hanging out with the CHGO Cubs crew, talking baseball, enjoying the positive vibes, a buffet lunch, and a drink ticket to get the good times rolling. Plus bonus, if you are 21 or older, $100 casino free play money with a Potawatomi rewards card. $100 free in a casino.
Yeah.
Music to my ears. Grab a game ticket and sit with the crew in the lower outfield, the Cubs side, of course, and make a weekend of it at a one-night hotel stay at Potawatomi for Saturday night. Tickets and more information available at allchgo.com/event. There are only a few tickets left. Grab yours now and hang out with our CHGO Cubs crew up in Milwaukee this weekend. Potawatomi. $100 gift, $100 casino card.
That's your jam.
Please.
Mm-hmm.
Give me.
Mm-hmm. Give me.
Gimme. All right, rolling along. We are grading the rook, Matas Buzelis, today. Fish saying, I really like him. He's a year or two away from figuring more out in his game, polishing some skills. Looks like he's on a good trajectory to be nice. Jebediah saying Matas just needs to get stronger. Colin saying the sky is the limit for him. So, diving into our offensive grades for Matas Buzelis, let's take a look where we landed. Katie, if you got the report card you want to toss up there. All right, so we got a couple of B's for myself and Big Dave. Goat, a bit stricter with the grading. The biggest hater. Hate to tell you, I'm a hater with a C+. I just quickly, for my thoughts on the B, thinking about what he did efficiency-wise across the season and in different spots on the floor. Matas still in his rookie year didn't show a whole lot of enthusiasm for a mid-range game. I'm okay with that. Attack the basket and prove to us that you're a confident three-point shooter. Let's start there. And he did that. 30% of his total field goal attempts came at the rim, and he converted them at above 63%. Again, great numbers efficiency-wise for me for what I'm looking for from a rookie. Also, as far as converting at the rim, I think like 65 or 70 of those field goals in that area were ferocious dunks. Pretty good way to keep your efficiency up around the rim. Hammer at home, Matas style. Just shy of 48% of his total field goal attempts behind the arc. And he, again, shot those at just over 36% on the year. Love that. From 3 to 10 feet is where he found 17.8% of his total field goal attempts. 43.5% conversion rate there. Don't love those numbers. They can get better. But just 3.7% of his total shots came in that mid-range to deep mid-range space of 10 feet to the three-point line. I would at some point like Matas to find some level of comfortability as a pull-up dribbler when he is given space in the mid-range. And I think he'll get there. It's just that wasn't really high on the priority list of what the Bulls as a team offense were looking to accomplish this year. But even still, even if he wasn't taking a lot of pull-up shots and creating his own shot often, he moved well without the ball. He made solid off-ball cuts. And he did show, even in the span of one rookie season, more as a ball handler as the season progressed. So I think all of that, with the modest results as far as like how big of a piece of the Bulls offense were you as a rookie, and obviously the slow start just rolling minutes-wise, I felt comfortable with the growth I saw, with the body of work I saw, to give him a B.
I agree with you, especially on the ball handling. I mean, my favorite play of the season had to do with his ball handling when he put the ball behind his back on the baseline on Luka and went up for the dunk.
I thought you were going to say when you dropped Aaron Gordon. And then
that was number 2. You know what I'm saying? That was number 2. I think that was your favorite or Katie's favorite of the season.
I don't know.
It was one of y'all.
On top of that, he had a couple of those amazing like rip throughs.
But I'm just talking about the ball handling, man. That move right there. I hadn't seen that move from a dude that size before in the league, and that's why I just was out of my mind freaking out when I saw him do that. So it is incredibly impressive, his ball handling. You're absolutely right. I love the fact that he led the Bulls in a category even before he became the starter. He was leading them in dunks even before he became the starter on this team.
And blocks, right?
Yes, I was going to get to that in my second part.
Sorry.
Pump the brakes. But yes, he was definitely doing that, and I found that incredibly impressive for a rookie to come in and do something like that. That means you're establishing yourself. You know, you're making yourself known, not only to the league, not only to your players, but to your coaches most of all, because you're saying that you have to have me out there on the floor. It's not just my tenacity. It's not just my vigor. It's not just my mental. I'm showing and proving with the actual things you can look at and put in an actual box score and say, yes, this is a good thing right here. And it became consistent after a while. The best part about it, Matt, is when you don't even think about it anymore. You just know it's going to happen. And that's what it became with Matas Buzelis as far as his ball handling and as far as his dunks. Of course, we want to see more. I want the three-point shot to get even a little bit more consistent. I want him to have his own shot, more of a mid-range thing where he can get off of a defender and pop a J in their face, because that will be very unstoppable from somebody that tall. And once he gets those ball handling skills down tight, oh my God, like it's going to be absolutely a problem. And it's like what Tim Legler said, going to that Jason Tatum finishing school in the offseason, enhancing his ball handling skills, enhancing his three-point shooting, enhancing the fact that he gets his own shot. So knowing that he has that stuff to work on, but then seeing what he actually did with what he actually has right now, that's how he got that B from me, man. I didn't see how he should get lower than that, at least from when I was looking at it.
Yeah, I guess the way that I was thinking about it was like for rookies, it's really hard to have a positive impact. And the metrics always bear that out. So Matas, in terms of EPM on offense alone, was minus 1.8, 33rd percentile.
Yeah.
The team performed slightly better with him off the court on the offensive side by almost 2 points per 100 possessions. And for me, I don't really care about that stuff just because it was such a process for him. And I wanted to try to keep that in mind. That's kind of the curve that I was talking about. Really, until the trade deadline, it was just flashes. And it was like in moments, I mean, he wasn't really contributing. And part of that was because he wasn't ready to, and because the Bulls coaching staff didn't trust him to just go out there and do it, and kind of put him in a position where he needed to earn it. So for me, it was just hard to grade him on just those last. Same thing with Giddey and with Kobe. It's like hard to grade him on just the post All-Star.
Sure.
Post All-Star, I think he played really well. I think he really showed a growth in terms of understanding the game and like knowing where to be. But it was a lot of like cutting and corner threes and, catching lobs and running in transition. That's great. I feel like there's more in there. I feel like there's more shot creation. And we only saw flashes of that. So I just didn't want to grade him on potential. I wanted to grade him on what we actually saw. And what we saw was a really slow process that kind of came together at the end. So if you're asking me to like project his grade for offense, like I would go much higher than that, but I just wasn't quite ready yet to go higher than that just because of the first 2/3 of the year. And when he did get out there, he wasn't like creating offense. And like, to me, that's really important. So the tools, the flashes, I mean, you talked about the ball handling, like the flashes were awesome, but there was still a lot of like dribbling the ball out of bounds or taking that negative step and like stepping out of bounds or, the offense stalling out because he didn't make a read quick enough. That's all stuff that every rookie goes through. I'm not worried about him in the slightest, but I just didn't want to grade him on flashes and potential.
Yeah, I feel you. For me, it was harder to grade him on anything else because of being a rookie. That's all I really have. It is that flash that you show me. Like the Dallas game is a great example of him going out there and scoring 20 points, on the road in Dallas. And even though he didn't have a ton of playing time to get out there and do it. So just seeing that flash and knowing he wasn't going to play a lot, but doing, his best with the time that he was given showed me a lot about Matas Buzelis, where he is mentally and where he will be as a player. So there is some potential in there as well.
Speaking exactly of that, Viper Strike in the comments saying the thing that makes me most excited about Matas is he's one of the few dudes who I've seen get better on the bench. That shows he was going home and studying up.
Yeah.
And there's ample evidence from Matas and from, the mouths of his teammates and obviously Billy and the coaching staff that he came into his rookie season with lofty goals.
Yeah.
We all know that he's pissed somewhere, wherever he is right now, that he did not win Rookie of the Year, and Stephon Castle did.
Correct.
And, Goat, you were talking earlier about the way that he spoke positively towards the final parts of the season about how Billy Donovan brought him along slowly and credited Billy and the coaching staff for not putting too much on his plate at the beginning. But that we also know that he seems to be a very insanely competitive person.
Yes.
Who also towards the end of the season said, I want to be the best player in the league.
Yeah.
Makes us all think back to a young Derrick Rose at media day, saying, why can't I be the MVP?
Yeah,
Matas definitely seems to have some of those kind of personality traits.
Yes.
Which as a Bulls fan you love because you see the body of work as an offensive piece for the Bulls his rookie year, thinking, okay, this was some good, exciting, as Goat called them, flashes. And if we continue to see more and they go from being flashes to like, this is a part of his game now. This is a part of his game now. These are all lethal, reliable parts of his game. And just a matter of what the timeline looks like for how long it takes for those all of those pieces to come together.
Yeah.
All right, so shifting to what we saw from Matas on the defensive end this season. Katie, throw that report card back up there. We've got, again, pretty similar grades for Matas. B- from me and Goat. Dave gave him a C. We obviously, you were just talking about some of the rookie mistakes and turnovers, Goat. We also saw Matas make some defensive rookie mistakes, especially early on in the season. Blown defensive assignments or screwed up rotations. We could see the quick hook from Billy from time to time. The reason that I gave him a little bit of credit and gave him a B- when I don't think I gave any of his veteran teammates anything better than a C at this point. I think Kobe, Josh, and Vooch all got C- defense grades for me. I'm giving Matas a B- because I know you'll probably talk about it, Dave, leading your team in a statistical category and that being freaking blocked.
It's insanity.
It's not just that. It's that Matas was elite across the NBA in blocking shots. He was 12th in the NBA in block percentage this year. Not amongst rookies, not amongst a specific class or group of players. 12th in the NBA with a 4.3 block percentage. You ready for just a smattering of names of players who Matas had a better block percentage than this season?
Smatter away.
Rudy Gobert, Jalen Turin,
Damn.
Hartenstein, Amen Thompson, your boy Zubac Shakur.
What?
Draymond, Giannis, Jarrett Allen. Matas Buzelis had a better block percentage than all of those players.
It's impressive.
And had a worse block percentage than only 11 NBA players this season.
It's
and
impressive.
he blocked all kinds of shots in all kinds of ways. Recovering when he got beat one-on-one. Weak side help blocks. And just flat out, I stayed down. I stood my ground. I didn't bite. And I swatted the crap out of that. Blocks.
He did.
All kinds of delicious blocks. I liked a lot of what I saw for Matas as a potential quality defensive player this season.
And just to add to that, the only players who were not centers above him in block rate were Peyton Watson of the Denver Nuggets, who had a 5.0 block rate, and Evan Mobley, who is basically
for all
more
intents
of
and
a center
purposes.
than I mean, you could definitely put him in that category. So I mean, Matas, for the position that he's playing right now and for the role, is absolutely elite already. And that is special. Like, that is not a flash. That's why I went a little bit higher for my grade with him. The metrics also not great. It's really hard for rookies to make an impact. It's even harder when they're barely playing. And so again, I didn't want to hold him too much for that, but like when you show consistency, being elite at something from day one as a raw rookie, like that's pretty special stuff. So I was very excited by his defense and his defensive potential. I think that can get conflated with being a good defender when you block a lot of shots. It can be true, but I also think like he has a lot of room to grow, kind of guiding the ball on the perimeter, getting it to where it needs to go, shuttling it to help. He got beat up pretty bad just in isolations. I think that's another area where he will continue to grow and get better. But I just wasn't ready to go much higher than that just on the blocks alone.
Yeah. I gave him a C, and everything you all said, I completely agree with. But the reason I gave him a C is because just like Queen Katie, I know that Matas thrives off negativity. He doesn't do positivity like that. He wants to hear it. You can't sit there and tell him he's great at it all the time. So I took the one thing that I thought he was really, really good at and said, do better. do better than that. Yeah, great. The block, yeah, that was awesome. Yeah, I saw you get cooked one-on-one many a night, sir. All right. And again, the defense is why he even got on the floor for Billy Donovan. It wasn't the offense. Billy Donovan kept putting him in the game because of the defense. It can be better. All right. Yeah, you were 12th. How about being top 10? How about being top 5?
Top 5, yes.
How about that stuff? You know what I'm saying? That's what I want.
I love it.
You know what I mean? Like, forget all that niceness about it. No, bro. No. Be better at that because we know what you can do offensively. I want the fierceness, and the word Will used was elite. That's what I'm talking about. That's where I want you to live, in that realm. So no matter what your offense is doing, I know what I'm getting on the defensive end. That's how you get to that Evan Mobley kind of stuff and his kind of status. No matter what Evan Mobley's doing offensively or on the glass, you know on the other end of the floor, you ain't got nothing coming because he's shutting it down. And that's why I want Matas to be. And I can't wait to see it in this offseason. So, yeah, that's why he got the C from me. It was more inspirational than it was that I don't believe he was a B- kind of guy. But I just giving him a C, just to say, yeah, I want more.
I think I like it.
It's more of a meathead grade, but I like it.
Yeah. Speaking of which, let's talk about some meathead grades.
Steeped in meathead.
Yes. But, yeah, I mean, so we were all kind of in the same wheelhouse for both his offensive and defensive grades. All right. Big Dave, your meathead grade for Matas R2, D2? Round 2?
Yep.
As in, like,
Very
show
simple.
us what you got next year?
That's it.
Yeah.
Very simple. You know what I mean? You just heard the soliloquy I went on right there. That's it. It's very simple. Give it to me again. Round 2. We saw what you did. We know what you can do. I know you can get 30 in this league. I know this now. I know you can be a dude who gets 15 plus points a night. I know this now about you. I know you can be a guy who gets maybe 2 blocks a game. This I know about you, sir. So now I'm expecting it of you now in year 2. And I'm going to heap more on his shoulders than I probably have of any other guy in a year or 2, probably since Patrick Williams or something. And I just want to put that challenge on him because everything about him, from what he speaks and how he says it, is he thrives on an actual challenge. When Billy Donovan wasn't putting him in the game, he took it as a challenge. You know, when he was going up against guys like LeBron and Luka, he took it as a challenge. You know, Anthony Edwards, he said, I want to guard the best in the league. I want to be the best in the league. Challenge. That's what those things are right there. So I'm setting that standard for him. I ain't saying, hey, that's my meathead, Greg. Do it again. You get no applause here. No, you don't get no water. Water is for greatness. You know what I'm saying? Run that lap one more time, dog. Like, that's the training level I'm trying to put him at. Eat lightning and crap thunder. You know what I mean? Get on your Rocky stuff right now, bro. That's what I'm in. On my main man, Matas Buzelis. Let's go. I'm excited for you, bro.
I like it.
I like that.
Round two.
Goat,
is your meathead grade just literally telling Matas to eat this offseason and put on some weight?
I hope so.
It absolutely is.
Yes!
He needs to put on the weight. Like, he needs to lift. He needs to, like, not just, like, get big for the sake of getting big, but like, you could tell the physicality of the game was overwhelming for him at times. He's a 4. He's got to guard bigger guys. You watch Julius Randle guarding Luka. Like, you could put 2 of them inside of Julius Randle. He needs to get bigger. Obviously, you want to do that within reason. But I think it's a hard thing. Like, he and I talked about this early on in the year. It's just hard to, like, be putting on weight like that during the season because you're so active. You're constantly doing cardio. You're constantly. I mean, he was playing in Windy City games and in Bulls games for a time. So
sure was.
I think like the body, the physicality, all that stuff will help him get a lot better. I think there's a lot more for him to work on. But as far as meathead grades go, like, he's got to put on some weight. He's got to get bigger, and he knows it.
And like, even just like being on a professional team that's traveling all the time, and your meals probably aren't as regular. Like, if you want to put muscle on your thin frame, which Matas is, like, not only do you need to put work in the gym, but, I mean, you're telling him to eat. Like, the volume of eating, I think, is, like, some people don't realize how much you need to eat if you are someone with Matas's frame to actually add muscle to that frame.
Oh, speak to it. You definitely have.
Okay, well, so, like, Matas is, what, 20 years old?
Yes.
In my early 20s, in my brief yet fun acting days, I was cast in a part where I was a little older than Matas and basically the same frame. I wasn't 6'10" and wiry, but I was 6'4" and really wiry. And my director was like, can you put some muscle on for this role? I was like, I'll try. So I hit up an old friend of mine from high school who was like really into not like bodybuilding, but just like went to the gym a lot. He ate a lot. Right. He was a well-built dude. And he told me, he was like, you got to eat. Then you got to eat after you eat. You got to eat before you eat. You got to eat while you were eating. If you are a skinny person trying to add muscle, and like, I thought he was kidding. He wasn't kidding.
Not to mention like playing basketball and like doing cardio, like that's all working against you.
You're burning calories, so you have to compensate for that by eating way more than you. I was eating like 7,000 to 8,000 calories a day, and I managed to go from like 180, 185 to like just over 200, maybe 205 is where I maxed out over the course of a few months. But like, it was hard to get to like add that frame to somebody who's just not naturally built like
especially when you're like trying to eat high quality foods or like not just like binge on fast food or whatever to like get the calories in. Like, you want to he's got to like build lean muscle too.
Right.
So he's got to be careful with that.
I was like, so I can eat like 5 cheesy gordita crunches a day? He was like, no.
What do you mean? You said put on 8,000 calories. Don't tease me, man. Like, don't tease me. What was the go-to?
Chicken.
Okay.
A lot of chicken breasts, a lot of carbs, and then obviously just protein heavy.
Like rice, chicken, and broccoli.
You're doing like protein shakes or anything?
Oh, like that? So like after I would do protein shakes coinciding with workouts, and then just like 6 meals and constant snacking a day. In addition to the protein shakes.
Get right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then as soon as I stopped working out regularly and stopped eating like that, gone.
I don't think you were sad about it, though.
No, I was like, I'm not going to do this forever. That's exhausting.
Okay.
But I am not making millions of dollars to be a professional athlete.
That part.
I was being paid very poorly as a non-equity actor.
That's right.
I'm not putting that kind of work in. Shout out to Zeke, who threw us a $4.99 super chat saying, if Matas' offensive usage increases, will Giddey be able to perform effectively while playing off the ball? Playing off the ball, that last part of that question gives me pause. I think they can coexist with Giddey still handling the ball a fair amount.
Matas is not a high usage ball dominant guy.
Correct. I mean, I think that would be a gradual change if it happens. All right. What's
Matt's meathead?
Oh yeah, my meathead grade.
Mm-hmm. I am young, fat, tall. Oh man. I don't know, man. Katie,
you got a guess?
I was just gonna ask:
Katie gotta guess.
Is the I just an I, or is it a
not.
word? Is it an if?
Okay.
It is not an if.
Okay.
But it is a short word that starts with I.
In.
Nope.
It.
Oh, I'm lost.
Apostrophe S.
It's all yours for the taking.
Boom.
Ooh.
It's all yours for the taking,
Wow.
Matas. It is all yours for the taking.
Mm.
This fan base is starved for a franchise player.
He's right.
We all, even those of us who believe in Matas' potential to be a quality player in this league, I think those of us who have watched a lot of NBA know that odds are still, I wouldn't say slim, but those banking on Matas to turn into a superstar right now are banking on something that I think is still a small likelihood of happening. But given his size, given his skill set, given his mindset, and given the fact that when you look around this team, who's the best player on this team? Who's going to be the best player on this team in 2 years? Who's going to be the best player on this team in 3 years?
Great point.
The answer to all of those questions can be Matas Buzelis. The fact that it can be Matas Buzelis is all I freaking care about as a Bulls fan right now. No offense to Kobe. No offense to Josh. No offense to anybody. But if this team is going to go anywhere in the foreseeable future, I think it has to involve Matas Buzelis becoming a star player in this league. Has to.
It's hard to disagree with any of that.
Literally, go take it, Matas.
Yeah.
Go take this team and make it yours.
It's yours.
Nothing's stopping you.
You're
Please hit the like also so that we can get a draft simulation so that the Bulls can get an additional top 4 pick to add to Matas.
Go this tanks fan.
For the taking. I think we need like 15 more, right?
Yeah, about that.
16.
16 more.
We're running out of time. You guys aren't going to get there.
Just a couple minutes, guys. You can do it.
Challenge.
Give me a tank spin.
Hit them likes.
So as we're waiting for maybe just a few more likes to round things out, overall grades, we all ended up in the B area, I believe.
Yeah.
B's,
yeah.
I gave him a full B and a couple of B minuses from you gentlemen. I think the growth that we saw from him and I want to believe in this young man so much. And I saw enough positive things from him on both ends of the floor that I was like, and again, these are somebody in the comments asked just a few minutes ago, how are we grading these things on a scale, on a curve, on what? I am giving my grades based on my expectations for each player before the season began and what I wanted to see from Matas in his rookie year. What he showed us, I would call above average against my expectations. And that's B material.
Yeah, I agree. It's a B. It's a B minus for me. Also because, being a rookie, it was a ton of mistakes that we saw him constantly make. Again, those were rookie mistakes, and that's the best compliment I could give is I don't think there are mistakes that are just consistent with him. That's like, oh, I don't know this part, or I'm going against Kawhi Leonard, or Kevin Durant is over here, who he did a pretty solid job on, by the way. But yeah, man, everything I've seen is just positive. When I watch Matas play, I love how he interacts with his teammates. Like he's just a positive guy. Like he loves being around them. He wants to win. You can tell he hates losing. Like he really despises it. So when somebody really hates it in that way, they're going to do everything they can to try to change that fortune around for the team that they're on. So that's another good trait from a guy like Matas Buzelis. And the work ethic, man. Like he has it. He truly does have that work ethic to be one of the best. He wants it. He is salivating for it. But like Matt said, it's right there for you, bro. Like if you want it, pick it up and take it. It is for you. So round 2, let's see what you can do. B minus.
Yeah, I think I also went B minus, and I feel like I probably have been convinced by you guys to bump it up a little bit. Just because like the expectations of where he started versus where he finished, like I do feel like with an overall grade, you want to the growth is important there. You want to give that credit where it's due. And I feel like he got better. He continued to improve across the board in every area of the game. He rolled with the punches. He bought into a system where he wasn't included really in that from the jump. And I was really impressed with his mentality throughout. So I'd probably bump it up, maybe even higher, but I think he's got a lot of room to grow. I don't think he is there yet, but the flashes were awesome. They were very encouraging for me thinking about what he can be. Some of the stuff that he actually showed in terms of production towards the end of the year was really encouraging. And then also I just liked his mentality with the season.
Loved it. Yeah. Katie, you're definitely somebody who was really, really high on Matas. I'm just curious as to what you think about his season and that he had this year and his potential for next year and the year beyond that.
Yeah, I overall would have given him a B. I think you guys hit it on the head with that. I think I agree with pretty much everything you guys said. I think his defense can definitely get better. Although I am really encouraged by, his ability to block and just how he really hasn't missed a step with that. And it's that's just a skill that is ingrained in him already. I am curious to see what he looks like in the offense next season, knowing that there is no slow ramp up. There is no Zach LaVine in the first half of the season anymore. It's
training
just
wheels
him
off.
and
Yeah.
Josh
In the starting
and
five
Kobe.
out of the
What if he
gate.
has to
You're
come
right.
off the bench behind Giannis?
He's playing the 3.
Hate to tell you. Yeah.
Yeah, that is another thing that you can be optimistic about is his first full offseason with an NBA season under his belt.
Yeah.
Not just, the typical rookie, I just got drafted and I'm about to be a rookie offseason.
Right.
He knows what's on his to-do list this summer.
Yeah.
Eat.
Yeah.
Does he go summer league?
First and foremost.
Does he summer league it?
I think he will. Yeah.
Think he will?
I think he
Okay.
will.
I mean,
I think
if
he'll
he
do the
goes
one
summer
game,
league,
score 20, and then
I was
get
going to
yanked.
say,
Okay.
yeah. But even still, I hope, even if it's just one game, because I want to see
take
him
it.
go cook some dudes in summer league.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I want.
Go out there
Remember
and
that
drop
game we
40.
saw? Remember that game we saw where he just went crazy, dog.
Yeah.
Dunked on everything.
And
Yes.
he was talking a lot of shit, in
Oh,
a
so
summer
much.
league game. I was like, yeah, let's go.
So much, man. It was amazing and awesome. So yeah, we're all rooting for you, Giannis. Straight up.
That's going to do it for those of you watching on our streaming services. Head to allchgo.com if you want the bonus coverage. As we wrap up,
Ooh, graphics.
overtime, 100 miles an hour.
I didn't
Yeah.
know. I literally didn't know we had this until today. That's
Magical.
crazy.
I've never
Obviously,
seen
because
it.
you didn't know we had it and you're our producer, we also did not know that we had it.
Well, you guys have other producers occasionally.
Just as important as what you want to see from Matas in year 2, Katie, on the floor. I know you have strong opinions about Matas' hair and facial hair. What are we thinking for year 2 from the young lad? We saw like a young guy goatee for a while.
We did.
Little
I
like
like the
scraggly
goatee.
beard. We saw shaggy hair. We saw weird quasi buzz cut for a
Quasi
second.
buzz- Yeah.
Okay, let me
He tried to
be.
quaff it, but there's only one.
Let me be clear.
Giddey.
Matas is a child in my mind,
Yeah.
and I want him to embrace that. He's a young man.
You want the baby face.
I want that. He's got a cute little. He's like a cutie little patootie.
I wish y'all could see her.
I want to pinch his cheeks.
Look,
He's
I
like a
wish y'all
little
could
cutie
see.
patootie. So yeah, the way he ended the season, his hair was great. I think he looked like himself.
I agree.
That he needs to stop with the facial hair. We're not there yet. And it's not just him. I think all young men hit an age where they're like, I can grow facial hair now, and then they do it and it looks horrible, and I hate it. But yeah,
What's she gonna know?
He's
Hate's a strong word.
He's a baby, and I think he should look like a baby.
He's
I don't think he
6'10",
wants to.
20-year-old person.
Millionaire.
Yeah, he's
I don't think he
20.
wants to.
Millionaire.
He's 20-something. He's a young baby.
Colin said that when Matas has a beard, it looks like he lives in the woods. that's the scraggly beard effect.
Yeah,
It's it
scraggly
doesn't
beards,
look like
man.
it's facial hair that you chose and carefully crafted. It just looks like you can't afford a razor.
Exactly. The scraggly looks like you live in the woods, as opposed to the goat 5 o'clock shadow, where it looks like he'll take down a cougar.
Right.
You're in the woods.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So there's a difference on that.
What about a silverback gorilla?
You got to get the full beard for that. You got to
Okay.
be Ron Swanson mustache on that one, dog. If I believe it, man.
Matt Peck mustache.
Well, Peck ain't gonna do it. That's why I said Ron Swanson.
All right.
It's up here. He ain't cutting his off. When he cut his off, it was because of Tammy. So yeah. Well, that was Tammy too, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that was Tammy too.
That was Tammy too.
That was
Okay,
Tammy
yeah.
too.
yeah.
Tammy too. Tammy
Yeah.
one is my favorite.
Tammy won, he loses part of his mustache
Yes.
because of friction.
Yes.
I did have that that Parks and Rec scene in my mind when I saw you without the mustache for the first time this offseason.
Like, ha!
Ron, your mustache fell off. Yeah, it was crazy.
Had to show him a video of you talking when you had your mustache. Matt Peck, this is me.
I didn't come in here wearing a golf polo though. I didn't want to shock you too bad. All right, we'll get out of here for today. We are back tomorrow with our.
Oh,
final
I'm sorry.
circle.
Were we not going to acknowledge my poll?
Oh, I'm sorry, poll. I had a mental note of it as I was asking you about.
See, that's crazy.
Modest hair,
it's almost like you knew that you
forget.
lost and you didn't want to acknowledge it.
I never lose a poll, Katie, because I don't care about them. What were the results?
The winner is At a Theater with Friends. 38%.
I would have predicted that would be the winner.
What was the percentage?
38%. And then there was
What was the poll?
What's the best way to watch a movie?
A new movie.
At a theater by yourself, at a theater with friends, at home by yourself, at home with friends. Pretty convincing winner at theater with friends, 38%. At a theater by yourself was 23%.
That's the order I would go in.
At home by yourself, 21%. At home with friends, 19%.
Man, they don't want friends in their house. They'd rather show up with them at the movie theater.
I voted at home by myself.
At a movie theater by yourself is the way to go. I will see you soon, sinners.
There you go. We will see y'all tomorrow, 4 p.m. Central Time, for another live pod to bring you into the weekend.
Yeah.
In the meantime, you can follow GOAT, Will_Gottlieb, read his stuff, allchgo.com, become a diehard to read all of it, and the very best of it. Big Dave is a bow, BWL Sports, on Bulls_Peck. We are CHGO_Bulls, the queen of the controls. He
want to say it. He want to put it out so bad. He wants to. We got to find another word.
The person who makes our voting polls.
Queen of the votes. Queen of the votes.
Have a great night. We'll talk to you tomorrow. See you, Remy.
Vote Queen. Peace.
We all silly like the mayor.